Howdy folks, Creeps here, and welcome to a very special episode of the Happy Horror Critic, because it's time to talk about horror animatronics. That's right, we're going to be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, Freddy's Friday, and Willie's Wonderland. Now let's start out with Five Nights at Freddy's. I was very anxious to see the movie. I loved the clips from it, the stills that they were releasing, and well, I've never seen the game. I've never seen the game. I've never played the game. I've never been in the same room where people are playing the game. Not at all. Okay, but it looked like a lot of fun, and I decided, you know what, let's see it. So, with that caveat being said, Five Nights at Freddy's is about a nice young man who's trying to keep the state from taking his little sister away from him, who he has custody of. So he's sort of forced to work at Freddy's Funhouse. And mayhem ensues with killer animatronic puppets. Life size, I might add, and you all know this. I loved it. IMDb gave it 5.5. I'm the Happy Horror Critic. I gave it a full-on 10. It can't get any better than that. All right, so next up is Freddy's Fridays. And I kind of went into the reviews a little bit, which I never do, and I don't know why I did, but there seemed to be two sets of reviews. There was the people who had done a search for Five Nights at Freddy's and ended up with this one, and so they felt that they had been deceived. And then there's folks who, either like me, have never seen the game Five Nights at Freddy's, and were not interested in that aspect at all. Did play the game and knew going in that that's not what this was, gave it very high scores. This is a little different plot. This is a weird, evil, scummy guy, and he is luring prostitutes into his lair, which is kind of like an underground weird place. And he sort of convinces them that his kink is to get them to read Latin to him out of this weird book that sort of looks like it was stolen from the Necronomicon, you know what I mean, Evil Dead. Anyway, they read it, and then these killer animatronics come out and eat them and kill them. And so that's a little bit different. I think out of all three movies, Freddy's Friday has the best animatronics. I thought they were scary. I thought they were well done. They were well used throughout the movie. Yeah, definitely best animatronics. So I gave this movie a 7, even though IMDb gave it a 3.6. I think that probably would have been at least a 5 had so many people thought they, were coming into Five Nights at Freddy's, and in fact, never watched any of this movie. And then up last is Willie's Wonderland, and of course that stars Nicolas Cage, who has been enjoying a heyday in horror movies lately, and I'm very happy about it, especially since Cage is at his best when he has roles where he barely talks, and this is one of them. He's minding his own business, driving down the road, and he accidentally gets all his tires fucked up because there's one of those police things in the road, the spiky things. And they tell him that, the spiky things have been stolen out of one of their cruisers, and this has been happening here and there. The kids or whatever are having fun. But it's a setup, and they are forcing him to work and clean Willie's Wonderland, which has been shut down ever since the animatronics killed a kid. So he goes in, and he knows right away, even though he's not really saying anything, that something is up in this place. And in fact, he spends the entire time beating the shit out of these animals, these monsters, these animatronics. And they're also good. They're really good. I would say out of the three, I like the animatronics in this movie the least. But overall, I enjoyed this movie the best. I loved it. It went places I didn't think it was going to go. I laughed. I jumped. So Willie's Wonderland, even though IMDb gave it a 5.5, I gave it a full-on 10. Now here's the thing. I just want to, touch base with you for a second. I gave Five Nights at Freddy's a 10 also, but I liked Willie's Wonderland way better. Now, Should I leave Five Nights at Freddy's at a 10? Because they were working under a PG-13 thing. There were certain things they couldn't show because they wanted to make sure that the entire game audience could come and see this movie. So that being said, with that little stipulation, I think I'm going to keep it at a 10 because it sort of makes it an entirely different sort of thing. But I'd like to hear from you. What is your opinions? Would you drop Five Nights at Freddy's back to an 8 in this case, or would you keep it at a 10? Anyway, I recommend all three. Five Nights at Freddy's, Freddy's Friday, Willie's Wonderland. Whatever mood you're in, there's a killer animatronic movie for you. So that about does it for us, and for you, and for me, and for everybody, and even Nicolas Cage. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.